Hello, book fans. I am here to present this book, which is Coppola and Eiko on Bram Stoker's Dracula. Now, this is a book regarding the costume design for the movie of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which I have here on a DVD. Okay, this movie came out in the 90s. I'm going to put the exact date right there on the bottom. And it is Francis Ford Coppola's collaboration with the costume designer Eiko, for the many very unique costumes that appeared. Now, as you can see, this is a very oversized book. This is a 12-inch ruler, as you can see. So it's more than 12 inches or 30 centimeters tall and about 25 centimeters wide or 10 inches across. All right, so let's just do a flip through of this book. Here we have a part of the opening sequence, when we see Dracula when he was still Prince of Wallachia. Coppola and Eiko on Bram Stoker's Dracula. There's Dracula's gauntlet from his armor, which we will get a better view in later pages. Here we have Jonathan Harker, played by Keanu Reeves, entering Castle Dracula. Part 1. The director himself, Francis Ford Coppola, and the designer, Eiko. I got this book, I remember, at Barnes & Noble. I believe it was in the 90s, shortly after the movie came out. All right, I'm really lucky to have one. Here is, of course, the Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves back when they were very young. And yes, this also tells the story of how the movie came to be. And Winona Ryder was a driving force in this, because she was the one that had the original script and was shopping it around, and got Coppola interested. Here we have Gary Oldman in one of his many makeups for the role. Let's get a close up there. This was a departure from all of the other Dracula films that we'd seen. A far cry from Lugosi. Here is the interior of Castle Dracula. Here is the designer with, I believe it is Sadie Frost, this actress. Oh, some really interesting sketches right there. Look at that. These are both for Dracula himself. This is when he was strolling around London. I don't know if we saw this black and white version here, though that's a really nice design. And of course the famous red robe with a very long train, and the scene where his shadow seems to have a life of its own. Here we have a little bit of an influence, shall we say, from Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast, with the arms holding up, not over here as well. Not a candelabra, but a torch of some sort, a flame. Here we have some sketches for Dracula's armor, which was designed to resemble a wolf. Here we have a close-up of the helm itself. Very original and unique armor. Very striking on screen. This is the the coachman's outfit, the dark driver. Though when we see him, we don't know that it is Dracula himself, though it is, of course, him disguised as his own driver, or rather, playing the role of his own driver, as he drives the coach that takes Jonathan Harker to Castle Dracula. Other here sketches, really love these. Dracula's red robe with the crests right there for the Order of the Dragon, I would assume. And here we have a close-up of that dragon precisely. With a very long train. These are the robes for the brides of Dracula. Monica Bellucci was one of the brides. They appear, supernaturally as of out of nowhere. Here we have a close-up of the design for Dracula's robe. Even more so. Here is the insect-like a straitjacket worn by Renfield. Played by, I believe, Tom Waits. Yes. The unusual protection for the guards at the asylum. As we see, the straitjacket that was made to resemble a larva or an insect. Lucy Westenra, right there. And the green dress worn by Winona Ryder. Oh no, excuse me. This one was worn also by Lucy. It had the snakes on it. In fact, she remarks upon it in the film itself. Do you like the snakes on my dress, or something to that effect? Here, the very sexy red dress when she first meets Dracula, but in his werewolf form. Some more sketches. Mina's dress. A close-up of the embroidery. And her wedding dress, on her wedding day, when she finally marries Jonathan Harker. Van Helsing's costume, played by Anthony Hopkins. Here we see the various very rich embroidery and textures here for the male costumes. The bridal dress worn by Lucy. She, of course, is taken over by Dracula and turned into a vampire herself. There we see. As Mina becomes seduced, her gowns, become much sexier right here with a very bright red gown here. And also Dracula now as a young man. This is the dress worn by Dracula's original bride, the one that is killed, or rather, she kills herself. She commits suicide at the beginning of the film. Dracula as a very, very debonair as he strolls around London. I believe this is also Mina's red dress. Dracula in his bat form, almost a werebat, being a giant bat. The other members of the vampire hunters here. I believe it is Dr. Seward. This is a English lord and an American here, together with Van Helsing and Jonathan Harker. A close-up of Gary Oldman as the young Dracula, and Mina's green dress. We end with the shot here of Francis Ford Coppola, the director, and Keanu Reeves. A very interesting book, a lot of really good information, and it's mostly, of course, here the photographs that are the main draw. Love this book. I'm really proud to have it in my collection. Thank you very much for watching, and so long.